Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome on into the swear word. I'm your host, Brandon Swear, and hey, this is a podcast for the chili head community, by the chili head community. Regardless of your spice tolerance, this is the place for you. Man, we have an amazing episode here tonight. We have 3 sauces on deck. We have an amazing guest locked and loaded, and a very fun game planned. So episode 122 starts now. What's going on, Swear Nation? So glad to have everyone here. Whether you're tuning in on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for being here and making this show what it is. Continue to share this out with other like-minded chili heads or individuals that are just curious about the world of hot, because this is where you can find everything to do with the world of hot. So, up tonight, we have 3 sauces on deck. These are from Rippin Rowley's, and we have Shone from Rippin Rowley's. We're going to be diving in, getting a better understanding of how he got started, what his whole trajectory, plan, and inspiration is behind creating and crafting these amazing sauces. And of course, we have a very fun game plan. So if you would have answered any of these questions different than Shone did, go ahead and let me know down below in the comments what your answer might have been. And let's go ahead and jump on over to Hot or Not. Welcome on into Hot or Not. So glad to have everyone here. If this is your first time checking out Hot or Not, do things a little bit different. I don't do a 1 out of 10 scale. I do a 1 out of 5, and that's really based off of 5 different categories. Those categories are heat, aroma, flavor, versatility, and burn. Add those up, average them out. That gives us our total swear word rating. And as always, I do not like to read the ingredients ahead of time. I like to let my taste buds do the exploration and really tell me what I am picking up in these products. So if you want to check out the full-length breakdowns, those will be on Scorchin' and Swearin' as a standalone. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at the summary of all 3 of these sauces and exactly how they broke out. Thai green lemongrass curry. Great visual appeal of the logo, the branding, very clear expectations, and a very fun and playful imagery at the bottom of the label. Beautiful color to this sauce. Let's go ahead and give this one a good shake. It does have, for those that are keeping track, a perforated little pull tab string, if you will. Grab the trusty tablespoon. Very fresh aromatics, maybe citrus. Definitely some herbs going on. Kind of able to pick out the lemongrass, but it is very faint. You're picking up much more of the overall curry aroma carried forward through this. And here we go. Nice high flow sauce. Cheers. Right off the bat, absolutely amazing. Smooth, creamy, inviting. Savory umami depth. You're greeted with the bright herby notes and the pepper note carrying forward harmoniously throughout this. Now this one is causing a stinging effect on the tongue, so it makes me think that this might have some habanero in it. Extremely flavorful. So much going on in this sauce. If you are just starting out, this is one that you're going to be able to pick up. You're going to be able to enjoy. It's going to be hot, but it's not going to be absolutely throwing you over the edge. If you are constantly working on your own personal best, dependent on where your tolerance is, this could be anywhere from a medium to a mild sauce for you. Extremely packed with flavor. Just now really starting to understand and differentiate. I'm definitely picking up some notes of what tastes like some ginger, definitely getting the lemongrass, definitely getting some citrus, and I can't tell if that's garlic in there or if that's onion, but there is another overall very savory note carrying forward. That pepper note is also very prevalent here. Now, places I would use this, any kind of rice dish, any kind of Asian food, absolutely, for sure, going on with this. Sandwiches would be amazing. Salads would be amazing with this. Any kind of protein and veggies would be great with this. I mean, it's pretty endless. This would also go pretty well on a pizza. The ingredients are coconut milk, bell peppers, habanero peppers, rice vinegar, lemon juice, green curry paste, unsweetened coconut, salt, garlic, avocado oil, organic lemongrass, organic cane sugar, turmeric, sea salt, xanthan gum, lemon zest. Flavor profiles, ingredients in here, nothing really impeded or stepped on the other. Once again, great for those that are just starting out, and an absolute flavor bomb for those that are constantly working on their own personal best. Heat coming in at 2.56, aroma of 4.7, flavor of 4.3, versatility of a 4, a burn of a 2.98 for a total swear word rating of 3.6. There we go. Another amazing sauce. That one there is from Rippin Rowley's. Let's go ahead and check out the next one. Fiery Fruit Fusion. Overall color on this sauce here, light orange overall look to it. It is very, you can just look at the color. It's very soft. It looks nice and creamy. It looks very inviting. This does have a perforation on the cellophane. Give it another good shake. Oh my goodness. A nice, soft, savory depth note to this. What's interesting, let me get some of this on the spoon as well. It reminds me of something aromatically. Medium consistency on this sauce. Once it gets going, it gets going. Yeah, it reminds me of like a spicy Italian type of aroma with the herbs and stuff that are popping forward from this. Cheers. That is a pasta sauce all day long. Oh my goodness. Pasta, meat and like veggies, pizza, sandwiches, burgers all day long. That is an easy go-to. Lasagna. During that savory, a little bit of a sweet, almost like a sweet pepper note going on in this. It is very smooth, very inviting. Now you're starting to feel a little bit of the overall heat. Back of the mouth, lower portion of the throat, and it's just a slight stinging, nothing too crazy. If you're just starting out, this is going to be a great one for you to jump on into. You're really going to be able to lather this one up, go to town with it. It's going to be hot, but it's not going to be unbearable for you. You are working on your own personal best. You're constantly pushing yourself. This is going to be a nice mild to medium heat sauce, dependent on where your tolerance is at. Ingredients for Fiery Fruit Fusion. This has mangoes, pineapples, tomatoes, pineapple juice, habanero, filtered water, apple cider vinegar, olive oil, garlic powder, sea salt, oregano, citric acid, and xanthan gum. That oregano is definitely noticeable. The sweet peppers, bell peppers, those two notes stood out so much to me. What's interesting is the mangoes and the pineapple are done in such a way that they are not overpowering. They are not, the main thing that you are tasting. This is a very harmonious, savory with a nice sweet undertone, just enough to be sweet, but not enough to be overpowering sweet note to this sauce. Heat coming in at 2.5, aroma of 3.98, flavor of a 4.1, versatility of a 4, burn of a 2.89 for a total swear word rating of 3.5. There we go. Another amazing sauce. Once again, this one's from Rippin Rowley. Let's check out the next sauce on the lineup. This is the Rippin Fire Roasted Tomato and Garlic. Let's go ahead and grab that sauce. There is a pull tab. Absolutely amazing overall aroma to this. You're definitely picking up the garlic. You're definitely picking up the very savory, soft notes that do smell like the tomato pour here. Nice medium consistency. There is a little bit of texture to this sauce, which is great by me. So nice savory overall notes that you are able to pick up. It is a dark, deep red color to this sauce. Cheers. Nice texture to that. Now, smooth, great, very bright garlic note. The tomato undertones for that first 10 seconds, maybe 15. It is just flavor packed, just this great savory depth. And then it's a smooth handoff over to the pepper bodies. It's consolidated to the back, almost the back part of the throat, slowly adding and gaining momentum. If you're just starting out, probably not the one for you. If you are working on your own personal best, this is going to be a nice medium to some might even say high heat sauce. Flavor wise, I could see this thing going great with any kind of pizzas, pastas, sandwiches, burgers, great with eggs. Ingredients of fire roasted tomatoes, filtered water, distilled white vinegar, habanero peppers, roasted onion, roasted garlic, Worcestershire sauce, brown sugar, lemon juice, olive oil, smoked ghost pepper, 7-pot primo pepper, scorpion pepper, Carolina Reaper, sea salt, black pepper, paprika, cumin, xanthan gum, and chives. The way this is really brought on, it is, for those that are working on your own personal best, it is a false expectation right off the bat because you have so much flavor coming at you right at the front that on the back end, when it starts to build, as all this heat starts to stack upon itself, that's where you're really left with the overall effects that you're looking for. It does build out pretty nice in the throat. It starts to drop to the lower portion of the throat, and you get just a little bit on the chest as far as some heat. All right, here we go. Heat coming in at 3.3. We have aroma of a 4. We have a flavor of 4.19, a versatility of a 4, a burn of a 4.1 for a total score rate rating of 3.92. There we go. Another amazing sauce. This one here is from Rippin Rowley. If you would like to check out any of these sauces, I will have the direct links down below for them, as well as a link to the main site so you can check out the full lineup of amazing products from Rippin Rowley's. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and jump on over to our interview. Hey, Shone, how's it going?
Good, good, Brandon. How are you?
Doing great. Glad to have you here. I know this has been actually not too far out since the last time that I actually had the chance to meet you. So glad to have you on the podcast and learn a little bit more about Rippin Rowley's.
Yeah, it's Zest Fest 2025. That was our meeting grounds. Yeah, it hasn't been too long. It's been good.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah. You one thing that immediately stood out even before getting the chance to really have the chance to really talk to you was your overall presence at the booth. I mean, absolutely done up in a very nice, appealing way, one that would draw you in. And I think it was Friday as we were getting ready for the dinner aspect that I noticed that y'all were, I guess, in a different section. Did y'all move from Friday to Saturday? Yeah, okay. So I noticed that
Yeah,
because I was like, oh, that's a nice booth. I was like, we'll have to make sure we head over here tomorrow because everyone was packing up to go over there. And then when we got in there Saturday, I was like, oh wait, is there two of them? And then I had to walk around to the other side to see. And yeah,
yeah.
no, it was
Well,
absolutely great.
what you just said right there is exactly why we moved. You had to make sure you hit over there. So we were kind of hidden out of the way, and being honest, everyone was kind of going around that corner and going the wrong direction. They were missing us.
Yep.
So I kindly asked, I was like, if there's an availability, can we move? Because it just was not working in that corner. So they were nice enough to move us to a better spot.
Yep. Yeah, it was an interesting spot where you were at initially on Friday. And solely because like well y'all had I think there was like the honey and slash hot
Yes,
honey guy that was next to you, which that kind of
correct.
made sense. But the other majority in that row going up the aisle was
Didn't fit.
yeah, the majority just didn't necessarily fit the venue as far as like what the attendees are seeking out. So
Right.
yeah, much better placement there. And glad that that change happened because I feel like otherwise it would have been an even poor representation of what it's like to come out to an event to just sit there stuck in the one spot. But um, yeah,
Especially since it was my first event. So, having, I don't want to say a bad experience. It was still, no matter what happened, it would have been a good experience, at least a learning experience. So, but where we moved to was definitely a better experience. So,
yep. Yeah, absolutely agree. But okay, well, one thing I always like to start out with is solely just breaking the ice, getting to know a better understanding and insight on, guests as they come on, which is what got you into the world of hot, and then what was that catapulting moment where you decided, hey, I'm going to go start making my own spicy products.
um, well, what got me into it was my father back I was a child. He was putting Frank's Red Hot in everything. my first introduction was mixing ketchup, mustard, and Frank's Red Hot, my hot dogs, all on the plate and just dipping into that. And it grew to the point where I don't want to say I was challenging my father, but I was eating hot stuff that he couldn't eat. And then as I got older, realizing that spice kind of added a new dimension to food, I think was the kickoff for me. It was also challenges for wings. I would go to sports bars and they would have the wing wall of death where, you know, can you complete it? If you eat
Yep.
them all, you get them for free. I was cheap back in the day. If I could eat them all and get a free meal out of it, let's do it. So that was kind of my introduction to hot. I've always liked spice, even as an 8-year old. I've always liked it, but defining moment for me was an accident. I think for several people, it was kind of an accident, right? I was trying to replicate a sauce because I was sick of buying it. There was one sauce I kept using over and over and over again for two sauces for my pizza. And, I tried to replicate it just to save money. And I didn't even come close. It was so different, so unique. The first iteration I actually didn't like. It was, I had other people who actually liked it and wanted me to make it. And I was like, no, I don't like that. So I made two other iterations of that same sauce just for myself. This wasn't supposed to go public or anything. And, that sauce, once I finished it, I gave that to a lot of my coworkers at work and, passed it around. And it kind of was like everyone wanted a bottle. And I was like, this isn't an easy thing to make at home. I don't really want to do this. And every weekend from that point, I ended up making a new sauce every weekend. And it was just for fun. And it got to the point where so many people liked it and enjoyed it that I was like, I wonder, I wonder what I could do with this. I wonder. So I started researching a little bit into, the making hot sauce and what it was going to take and didn't find all the answers I was looking for. I think if I did find all the answers, I probably wouldn't have done it because it's not as easy as a lot of people think it is.
Yeah.
Um, you know, getting your finding somebody that can either co-pack for you or going through the commercial kitchen, which is how I started. I started working out of a commercial kitchen, paying rent and dealing with other people in that space. It was so annoying.
Yeah.
So ended up going with a co-packer, which was difficult. But yeah, I mean, that's basically how it started. One sauce kind of kicked it off for me, which I think you have there, which is the fiery fruit fusion.
Mhm.
Um, that was my first sauce. And yeah, just for pizza. That's how it started.
It's an absolutely amazing sauce, and I can see that it is a hot sauce that would be best friends with any pizza you could ever think of, with how it pairs to that. I mean, it is phenomenal. The true test of any sauce, I feel like, or any product in general that you're going to be applying to food is really, can it stand on its own? And that sauce definitely stands on its own as well. It is absolutely amazing.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it works. I've had some people who want me to change the name. They think the name isn't deserving. They wanted me to call it something like "Party in a Bottle" because it works on it works. If you think of having a party at the house, wings, pizza, things like that, it kind of works on multiple different things. Which I don't know about wings. I've dipped wings in them, but it doesn't do wings for me. There's so many other of my sauces that I prefer on wings. So some
Yeah,
people like it though.
yeah,
I
I
can't
I could
argue.
see that. Well, and that's the
Yeah.
that's the beauty of the whole idea of everyone having their own, flavor profiles and taste preferences and all this other stuff really kind of rolling out. And it's, yeah, I could agree. I think you have some better sauces that would be even some more interesting sauces that aren't your, say, traditional, that could make a
Yeah.
phenomenal wing sauce. So,
Yeah, I mean, Thai peanut curry, the peanut
hmm
curries or the ghostly curry for wings,
oh yeah,
it's very unique as far as a wing sauce, if you were to use it on wings, but it goes so well on wings. I mean, to have a different flavored wing, yeah, it
yeah.
works really well.
Yep. Really catching
Yeah.
people's attention if you were to, swap those out, stagger some in a line and then have them try the different ones. Though that would be the one that would catch their attention and make them go, wow, what did I just eat? All right, I need more of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the Caribbean pineapple on chicken on wings, it, takes the wing to a different level. It makes it very Caribbean-ish, I guess is a great way to throw it. But
Yeah.
yeah, and that's kind of how all my sauces were designed. Well, not all of them. You had to have a few of the normal staples in there, but most of my sauces were designed to be unique, I guess. And that's because one, my taste buds, I like flavor.
Yep.
I'm a flavor guy. A lot of people love the flavor of peppers. I'm not a pepper forward guy. I don't like the flavor of peppers. Even my super hot, which isn't as hot as I want it to be, but it is a super hot. It's got four of the hottest peppers in the world in it. It's not pepper forward,
Hmm.
so that was a very important thing to me when I made that sauce is I wanted to be flavor first and heat second.
Yep. And
So
definitely able to accomplish that. It has all that great packed in flavor up front. And yes, while it may not be, I mean, no sauce is the same magnitude as eating a fresh pepper itself. It
yeah, oh
may
yeah,
not have that
yeah,
full effect of those four peppers, but it has that deep burn and overall characteristics that you do know and expect from those peppers. So, no, I thought you did a phenomenal job with that one as well. Some things that you
yeah.
had mentioned earlier as well that I was going to touch on is I find it a bit funny too because I had a similar kind of thing. My first encounter with spice was around the idea of I ate all my pizza whenever I was like 6, 7, 8. I don't. It was somewhere in that range, right? And I remember my parents had ordered pizza and they put jalapenos and stuff on theirs, and that's how I kind of got introduced. Well, from that, I guess going forward, kind of how you were saying, very quickly I started finding myself getting to the point where I was like, all right, well, now I'm eating just as spicy typically as my dad, or as much spice on my food as my dad. And
Yeah.
then next thing it was like I was eating stuff that was hotter than him, and then it was stuff that was just like leagues different. And it's always interesting to see that, and I keep watching and waiting and seeing how my son's going to react to his own journey. Not really shoving him down that path, but just seeing where it naturally takes itself. He'll dabble occasionally around ghost level heat stuff, but yeah, it's
Wow.
always fun.
How old is he?
He's 15. He'll be 16 in August. So yeah,
Okay. So you're
yeah.
grooming him a little bit. That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
just
good.
just trying to get him used to it. I don't want to get him completely blindsided when he goes out there on a date, and then all of a sudden somebody's like, "Oh yeah, have you ever tried this?" And it's like a spicy dish that he's never heard of. At least he's not going to get his face
Yeah.
blown off. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of fun to kind of see that aspect play out. But something else that you had mentioned that I guess I really haven't talked to too many about, is around the idea of doing a commercial, like sharing a commercial kitchen, and the potential ups and downs within that, without really kind of like pointing fingers at the other people sharing the kitchen per se, but maybe talking more around the realm of um, just things that you didn't expect that you would have to be dealing with, or like I guess really my initial thought was like, how often when you go into a shared commercial kitchen, or did you experience this at all? I should probably say, where you would walk in and either things just aren't uh, cleaned up properly or put away properly, or like I don't know. I don't. For me as an outsider of that, I can only fathom what I know from the restaurant side of things. So I assume it's similar
Right.
to that, but I don't know if maybe somebody else that may have had the space before you is just kind of like, essentially, for lack of better words, cutting corners and just being like, all right, that's done, and then just kind of tossing it back, but maybe not right exactly where it goes.
Actually, that wasn't the issue. Cleanliness was never really the issue there. Everyone who was in there was very organized and neat. The issues I ran into is there was a lot of food prep companies in there, so they were making the pre-prep meals and things like that. Um, they have their specific days that they go in, like every Sunday or every Monday, they would go in and make their meal preps for that week. The days I chose to go in there, there was it was a big kitchen, so there was plenty of space. But the problem I ran into is there was only a couple burners that I could personally use with my kettles. So I ran into spaces with or problems with some of these vendors. I would be in a workstation working on a work table, cutting up my peppers, cutting up my ingredients, and the burner behind me got taken. And I was like,
Mm.
that's the only one that's going to work for me. um, so I, you know, they used it for a while and then I would be able to use it after the fact, but it was just, it was, you're in there on your per hour basically is how
Yep.
you're paying for that kitchen. So, it was a little difficult. Plus the commercial burners tend to be a little bit taller, having access to them with your burr stick, a giant blending stick.
Yep.
It was a little, it was a little difficult. I mean, I was, my hairs, I don't want to say were singed, but I was pretty steamed out by the end of that day.
Yep. Yep.
It was, and then making my super hot in that kitchen, nobody appreciated that. Nobody appreciated that. Everyone in that kitchen was, and it wasn't actually the cooking of it. It was the cleaning. When
Yep.
you clean, oh my goodness,
Yep.
that hot water, because the sprayers are all hot water that come out of that. Even the commercial dishwasher, everyone in there was coughing and
Yep.
gagging a little bit. It's pretty brutal. So yeah, it was something I had to get away from. And plus I had a full-time job. So my full-time job working 4 days a week, going into a 3 day weekend, making sauces was just like, no, I can't do 7 days a week. It's killing me. So yeah.
Yeah, no, the atomizing of the capsaicin in the air when you're cleaning really anything. I mean, even those that are at home doing like very small batches, the second that you go to hit it with
Yeah.
that hot soapy water, you better have the family out of the house and the dog out of the house and otherwise everyone's gonna be coughing.
Yep. Yep.
It's definitely a part of the whole entire process, but yeah, it's one that often is overlooked because everyone always thinks, okay, well, I'm grinding down dried peppers, like for pepper powder, there's gonna be kick up, like you expect that. They think, I'm gonna be
That's just a
cooking
big
something.
sneeze for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Ghost pepper powder, I carry it with me everywhere. I use that religiously on most of my foods, but every single time I pull that out, I sneeze. Every time. I just can't. I don't understand what it is, but Hob powder, even my 7-pot Primo powder,
Hmm.
doesn't really have that effect. It's only ghost pepper powder that makes me sneeze all the time.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's pretty wild how that whole thing plays out. Yeah, there's also certain peppers that end up hitting each and every person slightly different.
Hmm.
And some people allude and call them the nemesis pepper, or essentially
Yeah.
kind of giving it a fun, playful name. But ultimately, it's just how your body responds to things, or that pepper individually. And I mean, the same thing happens with other ingredients. It's why you know that like certain things, like it's not necessarily an allergy, but it's kind of like similar to how some people know that they can't eat too much. Like I know for a fact I'm lactose intolerant, but only in a sense that like I'm not. If I drink too much milk, or if I drink straight milk, I don't drink straight milk, but if I drink
Yeah.
that, it's over. If I have ice cream, I know that I'm going to be having some bad times because of that complication. But it's like
Yeah.
ultimately, same thing. It's just like you it's similar in that way, but in a different sense that that pepper just affects you more. It just hits you harder.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's a prime example of that for me is Thai food for some reason. Um, I love Thai. I mean, I got four sauces that are basically Thai-based sauces. But my issue with Thai food, it is one of the only ones that when I go to a restaurant, not my sauces because I don't think they contain the same ingredients or they're not made the same. Traditional Thai food though leaves my body the way it went in. So if it goes in really hot, it leaves that way too. So, but it's only Thai food. And I
yep,
think it's the oil. I think they use a lot of chili oil
yep,
and that just kind of carries through for me. But peppers, there are certain peppers. If, if I'm at a 3 out of a 10 in my
yep,
mouth, I'll tear. And I'm
yep,
like, what is my body so sensitive for? But it's certain peppers that do that. Other peppers, I'm fine. I'll sit at an 8 and I'll be okay. So
yep.
I don't know. I don't know. It drives me nuts. I hate tearing up at a 3. Makes me feel like a wimp.
Hey, there's plenty of times where uh, I'll have and it's always been this way. It doesn't matter if I'm eating something that actually is hot or if it's just absolutely not anything. I will oftentimes have my sinuses open up first, which is a blessing to me because I didn't really start having allergies until uh, really about 2012 is whenever I had them, and it's been learning to deal with allergies at that
Yeah.
point was pretty wild. But um, yeah, no, now it's like kind of a blessing because then it just frees up and I can breathe again and everything's great. But yeah, it's certain things they just your body in general will just react differently because I know that that's the main thing for me is that everyone will see that my sinuses open up. I may have like some sniffles going on, but there's nothing.
Hmm.
It's not that I'm in pain or that it's too hot.
Right.
It's just the first thing that ever happens, from a physical body reaction standpoint, whenever I, take in any kind of heat at all. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting thing.
That's mine too. Mine
Yeah,
too. I sniffle too with a 2 or a 3 sometimes. I sniffle.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's
I
wild.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you had mentioned like you like to bring ghost pepper powder along with you most places as well.
Hmm.
So I guess this may already be answering that, but from a daily consumption standpoint, do you find yourself gravitating around a certain type of heat range or level?
Um, honestly, it's food dependent. It really is for me. Like last night I had pasta, and I used my Rippin, which is my Superhot. That's kind of my go-to for my burritos, my tacos, and my pasta. I love that. But on a daily, I mean, usually dinner is going to be most of my heat. Breakfast really isn't a terrible heat thing, and I don't know if that's just stomach thing or I just generally don't kick it up unless I'm eating a breakfast burrito. If I'm doing a breakfast burrito, then I'll kick it up because burritos have to have heat on them.
Yep.
Um, but no, I wouldn't say. I mean, my go-to spice level is probably going to be Ghost for the most part. But I don't always kick it up there because even my 3 or 4 has a little ghost pepper in it. Um, but it's for a different type or different feel of heat, I guess.
Yep.
Um, different heat placement. But yeah, there's no consistency with me. I do like to keep up a little bit of a tolerance, but that I don't focus on that. I just do it naturally by what I
Yeah.
eat. Yeah, I'm not big on raw peppers, not at all. Which is kind of weird. Being a hot sauce guy, raw peppers, I probably the past 2 years, I never liked peppers in general, even bell peppers, sweet peppers. I was never a pepper guy. Now I eat them cooked for the most part. I'll eat fresh habaneros just for enjoyment or on pizza sometimes or things like that. I'll cook with them. But straight peppers, I don't do. I'm just not that guy. So
No, nothing wrong with that. It's pretty interesting the amount of folks that I have met that are of the same, basically the same outlook and overall approach. But the good thing is that you're actually in there. You're truly, testing, tasting, and finding out the balance of things. So it really lends itself best there because there's some out there that they'll either uh, they'll try either nothing at all from some of those screaming hot ones that they make that I've ultimately through discussion have found out, and then there's others that will, oftentimes send it out, which is it's a great another alternative avenue if there's something that's just blistering hot and you're getting flushed out on the flavor aspect. But
yeah,
to be able to be in there, mix it up, be able to find out where you prefer to have things, it really seems to be beneficial there. And the oftentimes a lot of people that end up not liking peppers or fresh peppers, I should say. I commonly hear that it's just solely a texture thing for them. It's like that's kind of the main area that does not lend well to them for that.
yeah. I think the skin on some of the peppers, I'm not a big fan of. It's kind of like apples. I never liked really the skin on apples either. But for me, it was honestly the flavor of a lot of peppers. I've never been a fan. Certain peppers I do love. I love the flavor of Ghost. I love the flavor of habaneros. They have that fruitiness to them. Um, and but as far as just eating them up for enjoyment, nah, it's just not for me.
Yep.
I I like more of like I said, the flavor forward sauces. That's what I based. I keep looking down there because that's where all my sauces are sitting right now. But yeah, the flavor forward sauces. That's kind of what I focused on for the most was having sauces that the peppers are there, but that's not where the focus is. The focus is enjoying those flavors up front.
Yep.
Um, so. Yeah, the Rippin, I mean, that's my go-to. I could eat that all day. It's just got that fire roasted flavor up front with the garlic in there and the peppers are there. You taste the peppers. This last batch that was made, I actually tried a little something different. I went with a little bit more ghost pepper in there, which brings a little more pepper forward.
Uh huh.
I'm not as big of a fan, uh, but I do like the heat profile. It may end up um, changing a bit. There's because that's a 9 and I do need a 10. Uh,
I
but
like it.
I'm thinking of making my smoky garlic into a 10 because I've had a lot of people who really, really love that sauce. Um, and turning that into a solid 10 for some wings and things like that, I think is probably going to be my next target.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have too many things on the burner. I actually have a dressing that I'm trying to get out.
Oh, nice.
I'm having yeah, trying to throw a little wrench in there by having something completely different, but I'm having a stability problem with color. Um, Using fresh strawberries in that dressing, it's over a
Ooh.
month in the bottle. It starts to brown a little bit, and it doesn't look right. So. And I've tried citric acid. I've tried all kinds of different ways to stabilize it, but I can't get it to stay the color I want. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm working on it. I got ideas. I got plans, but finances are another problem. Every sauce you bring out is X amount of dollars to go full
Absolutely.
production with. So it's tough. And I wasn't ready for that. Being honest, I'm grateful that my co-packer is who he is and was able to do the batch sizes that I needed because that was a huge problem. That was huge. Every co-packer I went to was like, "Oh yeah, we do 100-gallon kettles of each sauce to start with," and I'm like, Okay, that's $15,000 each sauce. I have 9 sauces.
Yep.
Like, no,
Yeah, that's a
I
large
can't, I
ask.
can't do that.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely. No, that would
yeah,
stack up quick, and definitely as you're just getting started, you having things really pan out for you. The initial ask with that many sauces, I mean, let alone one sauce, it's already a lot just for someone that's getting going. So to be able to have that smaller size is going to be, pretty crucial in order to making a dream a reality, if you will. So,
yes, absolutely. I mean, for me, I've had 4 businesses, this including this one, and all of them prior were service oriented, which was a huge difference.
yep,
Um, there's not that capital up front. And if my photography business, I did that for 7 years, professional photographer in New York, primarily weddings. I had a lot of expenses up front for camera gear,
yep.
but if I wanted out, I could sell all the equipment and make that money back. This is completely different. If I want out of this, I'm kind of stuck with the product unless I'm able to sell it. Uh, hopefully I don't want out. That's not the plan,
Yeah,
but, still coming up with all that capital up front and then sitting on it's tough. It's,
yeah,
it's a tough ask.
yeah,
Thankfully, I'm good with credit. I'm good with credit cards, and I was able to, I guess, build this with other people's money. Let's put it that way.
yep,
So,
yep.
yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense. Something that it popped in my head from a prior discussion as well, knowing that there was somebody that I've had on the show actually, that also uses strawberries, and it was, I think they were seeking color retention and maximizing the overall strawberry flavor. Um, and I want to say, I think they ended up doing freeze dry, like taking very fresh and then having those, flash freeze dried, and then breaking it up, because once it hits, it ends up getting brighter again, and that flavor is just as strong. I don't know if that helps anything in that process, but obviously then you have the side of, okay, well, do you want fresh label on the label, or do you want freeze dried on the label? It's kind of where that one ends up ultimately shaking out.
Yeah. As I'm sure you've seen on my labels, most of my labels are, I don't want to say clean. They're on the clean side.
Yep.
There are a couple of them that do have citric acid in them, or, um, xanthan gum is one of those debates, like, is that actually clean or not? When it's a thickener. So
Yeah.
it's not really not clean, but a lot of people don't know xanthan gum is just a thickener. So,
Yep.
but those are the only 2 things on my bottles that aren't natural ingredients, or
Yeah.
aren't normal everyday ingredients. So I'm very focused on trying to keep the labels as clean as possible and keep the ingredients clean. Not because I don't believe in having additives. It's just there's a lot of people who don't like it. And if
Yep.
I can appease those people, then I'm targeting more. I got more people that I'm targeting. So that's kind of why I did that. So, I mean, freeze dried versus regular, I would hope that wouldn't bother anyone.
Yeah. I don't
I
think it
think,
would, but
yeah. And one of the things I found right off the bat, most people, I mean, even yourself, when you came to the booth, you're not reading the bottles first. You're doing the samples first.
yep.
So you're going off your flavor palette, what tastes good, how it tastes. Because if you don't like the flavor, it doesn't matter what's on the bottle.
Yep.
So, um, that's a big thing. I want it to taste good, not just read good,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
Yeah, and I also have, I do prefer, if I'm going to be, utilizing something, I would like it to be stuff that is familiar to me, that I know, that is not like, it's not necessarily something that's just unnecessary to be in the bottle. Put it that way.
Right.
or in the
Right.
product in general. And so, yeah, that's something that I'm pretty conscious about. But at the same time, there's certain ingredients, like, yes, you were saying the xanthan gum. I hear that often. There's a few others. I'm trying to think of them, but essentially, they're ones that are like xanthan gum. People see the word gum and then they freak out because they're like, "Oh, this is gonna gum up in my body," and it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. But okay, so
Right. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I have made the mistake of putting too much of that in some of my sauces that I was playing with, and it does make you feel full.
yeah,
It's kind of like um, uh, what is that? The powder you put in your energy, not energy drink. I'm sorry, protein drinks.
oh
Um,
yeah,
I put fiber in there.
hmm
It makes you feel so full so fast. It just kind of like expands in your stomach. If you overdid the xanthan gum, you can kind of get that feeling, but you got to eat a lot of it to get that feeling. And when you're making sauces and you're taste testing a lot, yeah, you get that feeling.
yeah, yeah. No, that would make that would make sense. Now, granted, it's always just a very, you know, compared to the rest of the ingredients within the recipe, it's always a much smaller amount. So it's not typically
Yes,
something that you'll see. It's something that's just a small amount to get to the desired amount of flow that you would like to see from your
correct.
products. So,
Yeah, or not even flow. It's also for me a primary example, like my Thai green lemongrass curry. Without xanthan gum, it looks weird. It looks terrible. It separates, so it's also meant to hold the ingredients together. Um, like the oils and the vinegar with the coconut milk. Those three things, they don't like to be together.
yep,
So having that in there helps keep the not just consistency, but also the correct mixture, the
yep,
correct thickness or texture
yep.
of the ingredients. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
that makes perfect sense. I guess as far as a company that is getting going, just starting out. I know that you have experience with many different businesses, but from a standpoint of you now entering into more or less the hot sauce world in this fashion, how have you felt that things have gone? Has it been pretty receptive to you, like as far as when questions come up or you're trying to source things, like how has that whole process been for you?
honestly, it started out extremely, I don't want to say extremely difficult, but it started out difficult. When you're sourcing smaller amounts of things, you're obviously paying more for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you're doing it yourself, you've kind of got that margin built into it where, yeah, it's going to cost me an extra dollar to make this one bottle of sauce, but I'm still making a good profit off of it. So that's fine. I'm good with that. Um, Sourcing as far as information, that's kind of where I like to think I'm really good at research. I could spend days in front of a computer researching one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this was difficult, getting into this, knowing exactly what I needed to do, um, to be legit, to have legal products, to have, my FDA approval, to have my letters of authenticity, or I'm sorry, my process letters of authority,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that was difficult. And I think honestly, if I didn't have certain people that I was able to speak to who were in the community,
Yep.
I wouldn't have I wouldn't have been able to figure it out. It was just going to the FDA website, trying to find all that information direct. It just the answers just weren't there. Um, there's still some things now that I'm having difficulties with. For example, I'm in Arizona. Arizona is kind of I don't want to say new to me. I've been here since 2013, but from a business perspective, Arizona's new to me. I'm from
Mm-hmm.
upstate New York originally. Um, it's very different from a business perspective. Here, for me to go to a different town to work in a farmer's market, I actually have to get a business license for that town. And I'm like, well, wait, it's still in Arizona, but that town requires their own business license. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why doesn't Arizona have a statewide business license that I can purchase just to cover the entire state?
Yep.
It ain't like that, and so on that also farmers markets. I'm new. I'm a new
Mm-hmm.
guy, and getting into local farmers markets. Some of these, I don't want to say upper echelon markets here. They want three, um, three. Oh shoot, what are they called? References from other market managers before they'll let you in. I'm like, well, I need to get into a market before I can give you three references,
Yep.
right? So it's kind of like it's tough. Plus, some of the markets here, um, they only have one vendor of each type of food, so one hot sauce vendor in each market. They don't want to have competing vendors. Uh, Here in Arizona, we're trying to. I want to say we're a hot sauce community here.
Mm-hmm.
All the vendors example, Zach from High Desert Hot Sauce down in Tucson, Big Reds, he's here in Arizona. There's several salsa makers here in Arizona. Um, we don't really, I don't want to say all of us, but we don't see each other as competition. We see each other as kind of friends and neighbors for the most part.
Absolutely.
So we want to make Arizona kind of a staple for hot sauce. So we're kind of pushing towards that. So we don't see the competitive side at a farmer's market. Some people might, they
Yep.
think, well, if I'm in there, I don't want another hot sauce company in there because that's going to limit my sales. I'm like, I don't see that at all.
Yeah.
I don't, because if you got a hot sauce lover, they're going to go to both booths. They're going to buy whatever they like from both booths. They don't care.
Yep.
So, um, that's been difficult, getting out there. The social media. Oh, this right here,
Yep.
what we're doing, this is new. I'm Gen X. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not huge into the social media side,
Yep.
um, but most of today's marketing is all social media. And I just for the first time this past week threw up ads on Facebook and on Instagram and things like that just to see what they would do.
Yep.
And I'm not used to this. I'm not having to post daily or every couple days, just little campaigns.
Yep.
It's so different for me. I'm not, um, but difficulties, honestly, I think the hardest part was just the legality side of this, getting the food insurance. That was actually fairly easy. I had to have that to get into the commercial kitchen. Um, but insurance, process authority letters, which thankfully my co-packer kind of directed me towards who to talk to. Actually, K John, K John,
Yep.
everyone knows K John. He's been around a long time. He actually did my process authority letters, and um, I really appreciate him. I mean, there's certain people I wouldn't be where I am, or even probably moving forward without some of these people's advice. So
Yep.
the community is great. Um, Again, I'll send a shout out, Paul from Big Reds. Without him, I probably wouldn't be here right now. So there's a lot of people that I really appreciate,
Yep.
pushing me and helping me get to where I'm at. Now a lot of it's on me, but I still don't have all the answers. I still have a long ways to go.
Yeah. Well, you know, you named some great people there and some great avenues for not only talking through issues, but people that have maybe already, not maybe, that have already faced pretty much anything and everything that you will see. So, a very strong base there to be able to call on in those times. But yeah, I mean, absolutely, it's one of those things that I think a lot of people don't understand, or maybe they underestimate the level of, as you were saying, the paperwork, the the business side before the business can get started. And if you don't do it right, you either set yourself back and you have to take a pause till you can get that corrected, or you just have, yeah, you have to just shell out.
And you pay for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's
If you
like
mess up, then you pay for it later. Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
wild how that plays out. But you would think they would
Yeah.
make things a little bit more easy to understand, clear and understand to define and read. I mean, that's kind of like there's so many other business avenues and areas that are not within food that it's pretty clear what you need to do in order to be in
Yeah.
business, right? And
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's like
Yeah.
they want the business to grow in, the overall, we'll just clump it into the US. They want business growth in US, but uh, it's almost as if they're like, well, you have to really want it, and you really have to go seek this out on your own if you're going to
Yeah.
want to figure out how you're going to do this properly. Otherwise, we'll just show up and be like, nope, sorry, not today. You can't be here. Sorry, get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, food is so different. I mean, I think my first step into product oriented a business shouldn't have been food. Food is just so difficult. um, but thankfully, once I take the food side of it out of my hands and I let a co-packer deal with a lot of the legality side of it disappear. I don't want to say disappears from me, but it falls off of me for the most
Mm-hmm.
part. Now I'm just selling a product that's made for me.
Yep.
But at the same time, that legality side's still there. I still have a lot of, I still have to carry my personal insurance in case somebody wants to come after me. I still have, it's still difficult. And yeah, getting health, some, this is still the controversy side. Example, going to a farmer's market here.
Yep.
I got one market manager telling me, "Oh, you need your food permit," and I got another one, or I got a couple of hot sauce people telling me, "You don't need that. It's acidified foods.
Yep.
Acidified foods don't need that." And I'm like, well, if the market's asking for it, but what's right,
Yep.
and where do you find that information?
Yep.
I can't find it.
It,
So it's difficult. It's certain things are difficult and annoying.
yeah. It's almost like a roll of the dice on that one.
Today's my day off. Don't stress me out.
Well, then what we'll do is we'll be jumping over to the game here in a second. I just had one more question, because obviously we've kind of talked about the starts and everything that's kind of gone along the way, and the jumping over the hurdles to get where you are now.
Yeah.
But really to get a better understanding of where you see growth heading and where you plan on taking this. I know you mentioned addressing, but do you have, what does your trajectory look like, say in the next uh, less 5 years or less? We'll put it that way, like short term, long term goals aspect.
Ooh. I would say short-term goals are to get this to the point where I don't have a full-time job anymore. The business is my full-time. So again, this is fourth business, but every other business was full-time for me. They became my full-time income. This one right now is still not full-time. I'm still working a full-time job just to make sure that on the weekly I've got my bills paid. Um, Once this becomes stable enough and the income becomes stable enough where this can be full time, I think the focus and the drive to make this even bigger is going to be easier. Right now, it's difficult because I'm dividing my time. Um, Over the next 5 years, as far as products coming in, I don't know how much more I want to expand. Even my co-packer kind of has warning me against going to, too many more sauces or too much more.
Mm,
Like I said, I made a new sauce almost every weekend for 6 or 7 weeks. And I didn't realize what I was getting into when I wanted to go full scale, because
Yep.
every sauce costs X amount of dollars. I do want, I do want that dressing. That
Yep.
is, it's in there, and I do want my number 10. So those two are kind of going to happen. I just don't know when. Um, those are probably the only two products that I definitely plan on bringing forward. Other than that, as far as the business side of it, over the next 5 years, I would like to be a little bit more in the wholesale side. I haven't done anything wholesale, nothing. And primarily because, to be perfectly honest, the income that comes in from wholesale, even though I'm turning over a lot more product, I'm not making much money.
Yep.
Wholesale does not like to pay, and I totally get that. They need to make their profit. Um, so it's tough forking out the money up front for wholesale orders, and not making much in return. Whereas retail, I actually make a good profit in return, but I'm not turning over the product. So I really need to get into some more shows, and that is a big thing. That is something that I'm still having a problem with, not knowing what shows to enter,
Mm-hmm.
not knowing where to go, what markets to do. This is a very much learning experience.
Yep.
Like a prime example, I wanted to get into Portland, uh, but Portland unfortunately was booked before I could even think of getting in there.
Yep. Yep.
So luckily, I am going to Fire Food Show in February. I am already in that, which again, you're paying X amount of dollars for your booth almost a year in advance,
Yep.
and you're that's difficult. I mean, to spend, you're planning for your hotel, your booth,
The
you're
multiple
shelling that all
days.
out
Yep.
in advance, hoping that you're still around in a year, number one. But two, um, I'm basically planning on hopefully my sauces actually work over the next 6 to 8 months, and I'm able to continue to grow and expand, um, to where I don't have to worry about that money that I shelled out. So
Yep.
I know Fiery Food Show is one of the biggest shows. It's one of the best shows. Everyone's been telling me that. So I was like, okay, I got to get in. I got to be there for that.
Yep.
So, um, that's, I'm going off the word of several other people. Um, and that's kind of how I'm living right now is I'm asking people, what do I need to do?
Yep. Yep.
Because I really don't know. So so to answer your question more directly, being in a more wholesale, pushing more wholesale sales just to get the brand out there. Um, I think the sauce is again one of my biggest things is you taste it. It's I don't want to say different than everyone else's. There are a few sauces that are very different. Some of the Thai sauces. I don't I don't know how I ended up on Thai. It's just I eat a lot of white rice, and I needed something for that white rice, and it ended up with Thai. So, but the Thai sauces are unique; they stand out. So,
Yep.
pushing those once you taste them, they tend to sell themselves. Um, that's what I got to do is get more spoons in people's mouths. That's not a word. Get more spoons in people's mouths, just to try the sauces, and I think they do sell themselves for the most part. Um, but yeah, pushing the wholesale, trying to get the website and get traffic to the website, that's a big thing.
Yep.
I'd like to get to the point where I can get somebody who knows the social media side that can kind of help me build that social media side.
Yep.
Uh, my ad thing, yeah, I generated a lot of traffic with the ads that I recently just did, but it didn't do much.
Not much
I
conversion.
gotta be
Yep.
honest. No, I mean
Yep.
a lot of clicks, a lot of money spent, but it didn't do much. So
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
I'm kind of still figuring out as I go for the most part.
Okay. Well, I think that, the idea, the passion, the growth, the focus, the determination, it's all there. All the pieces are there. And, amazing products as is right on the money, as you said it. Once you have that in someone's hands and they're trying it, they're going to be buying it. And so, absolutely agree there. But let's do this. Let's not stress you out anymore. Let's play a very fun dual round of the five. So here we go.
All right.
All right, here we go. This is the five. As I had mentioned a second ago, there are two rounds to this game. The first round, oftentimes everyone's kind of getting their feelings, their groove on the overall game, and by round two, you have a solid understanding of how you should play. So, as this goes, on the left hand side, you will see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is your ranking order. Now, how you rank them, where you place them, that is entirely up to you. 1 could be the best, or 5 could be the best. And you could even start with 1 being the best, find out that you made a snafu, and make number 5 the best. So, however you want to go about it, once again, is in your hands. But, first image up. Well, this is a ocean home. This is one that's just floating out there on the ocean.
Floating.
Yep.
Yeah, seasickness. I'm going to throw that as a 3 for me.
All right. Number 3. All right. I like it. Up next, we have an igloo.
5.
5. I was going to grab one that was an image of an igloo with a fire inside of it where it looked all warm and cozy, but then I realized
Wouldn't have mattered.
you
Coming
can't
from
make
Ski
it.
Patrol, I can tell you, in upstate New York where snow is abundant, I'll tell you, um, Ski Patrol, I've slept inside of a snow cave before. It is not much different than a freaking igloo, and I have no interest in doing that again.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough there. Next up, well, this is a cave in a jungle.
Ooh, oh, other than the bugs. See, I don't know what the next two are going to be, so it's hard to know.
That's part of the fun.
Uh, is it? All right,
Yep.
I'm going to put that as a 4.
All right.
I'm hoping you got better. I'm hoping you got some better ones coming.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
Boom.
you know.
Living in a treehouse.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's put that at number 1.
All right. Number 1 it
Bring
is.
back my childhood a little bit there.
I've always thought about it, and Austin has some pretty cool ones that I always see pumped into my feeds of like basically you can Airbnb in a tree home like this, and so
Yeah,
that's on my things to do for family vacation. Maybe that would be one that I leave the kids at home with the in laws, and then me and the wife go. But yeah, that's up there. So inherently, your number 2 is well living in a van down by the river.
all right, so that's actually not terribly far off because I've been looking at a van. One of the Sprinter vans doing a full conversion. I've been
Yep.
thinking about it. I had a camper for years and a van, not only for just that purpose, but also doing it for the hot sauce, traveling different places using the van.
Yeah. It's
There's interest there.
yeah. No,
There's
that's
interest.
it's wild to see. I mean, obviously it was popular. It's kind of gone in waves in popularity, right? As with
Yeah.
anything in life. But it's funny how it's come full circle where the SNL Chris Farley skit has become an acceptable reality that everyone's like, actually, that's not a bad idea. So
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. No, I'm still thinking about either a trailer or the van to actually haul around and to just go to different towns, different festivals, different things, and not only for the business side, but also for my brain well-being.
Yeah. Yeah. No, makes perfect sense. Now knowing that everything's set, we can't change it. Would you have ordered these in any different manner?
No, I don't think I would.
All
Maybe
right.
maybe 3 and 2. I might switch those, but yeah, I think I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good with
Okay.
that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
All right. Let's run it back. Here is round number 2 of the 5. So, up first, well, we have breakfast burritos.
Ooh. Oh, throw that at number 2.
All right. I think that was a smart move. Or was it? I don't know.
I don't know. Depends on how. Ooh.
This is just to represent steak, but on this picture here, you have steak, you have green beans, potatoes, and you have squash. But it was only just to represent steak.
Yeah, I mean, food's tough because there's so many number ones in my food category. Uh, but steak is definitely one of my number ones. I mean, we're gonna throw that at number one. So yeah,
All right. I like it.
and I got a feeling you're gonna ruin this for me. I got a feeling I'm gonna mess it all up now.
I think I may have been a little bit mean on this one, but up
Yeah.
next we have tacos. That's what this is to represent. So those are some asada
Okay.
tacos with some avocado and some pico, some cilantro, and oh, they look good.
Well, you got cilantro on there, so that is definitely a 9. I'm sorry for all the cilantro lovers out there. Uh,
You want it at
yeah, I
five?
mean, tacos in general would be probably a 3, but you got the cilantro on there at the 5 for me.
All right, all
Yeah.
right, simple enough. Well, up next we have this is pizza. That's all it's supposed to represent
Ooh,
there.
that's a 3. That's a 3.
All right. Now, the real question, did I set you up on this game to have it where number 4, that has just been dubbed number 4, would it have been higher? Boom. Thai green curry. Uh,
Ooh, Thai green. So even though I have a Thai green lemongrass curry, I will admit Thai green curry at a restaurant is not my go-to. I am a Penang curry guy all the way, or red curry. So yeah, that's fine right there. I'm good.
all
I'm
right,
good.
all right. Very well done on that round as well. One thing, uh, I guess to build off of that curry comment, I love the red curries and I love green curries. The only one don't necessarily mess with too often is the yellow curries, but my personal preference is I like to get a nice green curry, and I tell them do not stop until the green curry looks red. So
For
adding
the heat,
heat, yeah,
yeah, yeah. The only problem I run into, and you probably do too, the only time I actually get them to make it actually spicy is when I'm wearing my shirt and I say, "Look, I make hot sauce for a living.
yeah,
I want it hot." You're not going to hurt me. Don't
yep,
worry about a lawsuit. Don't worry about me saying it's too hot. I want my money back.
yep,
I want you to hurt me. And finding places that'll actually do that, either they don't have the capability because they don't have the peppers, or they just won't do it because they're just worried about, getting hurt, hurting you. And I'm like,
yep,
I found a couple of places I have to order a special way. Uh,
yep.
but yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
The the
Um,
fortunate thing for me is I have a Thai place that's right down the road, and the owner has seen me come in there so many times that normally their max is 5. They don't ever exceed 5. But I'll
yeah,
walk in there and I'll frequently call in and I'll say I would like it 30 times hot. And so they'll do it,
yeah,
but it's still like he knows that I'm coming in there and I'll put peppers and I'll put hot sauce and he knows all the things. But he knows that he also can't like continue to add stuff to it to make it spicy. He just tries to give me a
yeah.
nice baseline.
Eventually, it just changes the flavor, and it's no longer what it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, I run into that all the time. So here they have 1 through 5, but then they have tie hot and
Yep.
double tie hot,
Yep.
and there's so many times I'll be, look, I want triple, quadruple Thai hot. I want it as hot as you can possibly make it.
Yep.
And it comes out and it's like a 2. And I'm like, okay, my girlfriend just took a spoonful and said it's not hot. So there's something wrong here. Well, that's as hot as we can make it. Okay, I get it. You don't have the peppers in back. I brought my ghost pepper powder. We're okay.
Yep. Yep. You know, you got to do that
Um,
sometimes, and it's always best to be
yeah,
equipped with what you need. So,
yes, it is. It is. But I wanted to point this out to put this out there. Even though
yeah.
I'm not a cilantro guy. There is going to be a cilantro sauce coming, a standard verde or something like that. It will be out eventually. So I don't hate the the cilantro side. I realize it's just 1 or 2% of the population who really does not like cilantro. And somehow I got one of those genes. It doesn't taste like soap. It's not one of those. It's just, it's the devil's herb to me. So I'm still going to make a sauce. I'm still going to make it with cilantro and it's still going to appease all those lovers out there. So I'm not a hater. I'm just not a lover.
Well, looking forward to that as well. I do enjoy cilantro, so you know,
By the
I'm
way,
not
did
I'm
you?
not offended
eh,
if it is gone though.
Gotcha. Have you tried the Thai green? I think you said you had that bottle with
Yep.
you. Have you
Yep.
tried that one?
Yep, that
Okay.
is the one that was that's for tonight's episode. So that is on the
Oh,
front half. So that will be on here, and it'll be a lot of fun. I know I enjoyed that one deeply. So looking forward to sharing that one with everyone as well. So
I'm looking forward to seeing that episode as well. Hopefully.
yes,
That's one of the other things is this is a double-edged sword that I'm realizing every time someone does a review. I mean, it could really cut both ways, right? I mean, it could help you blow up. It could also ruin you. So it's kind of one of those things like, I
it.
want you to taste it, but at the same time, it's like, I hope it's good.
No, no, no. It's definitely great, and very unique, and absolutely love it. So no fears there, but yes, I understand. As anything rolls out, it's always the idea of, you know, I, not second guessing, but just ultimately, you're always wanting to make sure that it's your. It's just like meeting anyone for the first time. You want to put your best foot forward, and so
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
That's
makes
why
perfect
I prefer
sense.
to stand up there with 9 different sauces. That way I know one of them is going to work for you. If you're just sampling one, it may not work for you. And that could turn you off the entire product line.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like having 9. That's part of my thought when I do, uh, especially the reviewers online. I just want to send them all 9. That way, if they have a bad experience with one, they got the other 8 to try. So
Yep.
I know that's the expensive way to do it, but unfortunately, my brain thinks that way. I want to make sure you're happy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that hey, makes sense. I mean, it's just human nature to always want to be putting your best effort out there at all times.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, here's a fun chance where you get to put someone on the hot seat. This is someone that you think would make a great guest for the show.
Oh, yes. And I guess not knowing if he's already been on because I haven't looked. I'm sorry. Um, that would be Paul from Big Reds.
He very well has as well. He's I actually need to get to his nomination because he nominated someone, and that's on my list of people to reach out to. But yeah, no, he's definitely been on. I can definitely have him back on. That's for sure.
I do have Ti Marco from Ti Marco Salsa. He would
Yep.
be the next guy.
Okay.
Has
Yes.
he been
I
on?
No, he has not been on yet. We've been working on trying to find a time that works best for him as well.
Okay.
I know it's been a little bit of a fun back and forth on, just towards the end of kids' school. It's always chaotic. So,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
that is something that will be, that's a great nomination. I'll lean into that one as having him on. And, I've had his products reviewed on here, or some of them. I think two or three salsas, and amazing stuff. Always a great person, and great overall presentation that he has going on at his booth as well. So
Yeah.
definitely will reach out to him and find a time to have them on the podcast.
Sounds great. Great.
Well,
Appreciate it.
yeah, this last part is really beneficial for those that are only audio listening. We do have a nice selection of folks that listen just on Apple Podcasts where it's audio only. So this is beneficial for them. But where can they find you? How can they find you? And then as far as anything that you want to let them know, this is your opportunity to share with everyone that's watching and listening.
RippinRowleys. So Rippin Rowleys, that's Instagram and Facebook at Rippin Rowleys. And that's also rippinrowleys.com. So that would be the website side of it. Those are pretty much my only. I'm working on TikTok, I think. I'm working on Amazon, I think. Um, it's all, that's another chaotic side of it. I mean, getting your GS1, your barcodes and stuff. All my stuff's already barcoded in GS1, but getting properly set up on Amazon. Oh my goodness, what a task. But yeah, so rippinrolleys.com, at Rippin Rowleys. Yeah, that's pretty much me. That's it. That's how you find me.
Well, Shone, it's been
Arizona.
absolute pleasure having you on and learning more about Rippin Rowleys and all the amazing things that you've been able to accomplish. So looking forward so much to your future growth and where you're going and being able to cheer along as you have all these great wins and victories, because I can already tell you, I see it coming. Everything is there. Just stick with it. You have this, and I think everyone should be checking out your products because they're very unique. They deliver great flavor and heat, and you're onto something there. So keep it up, and would love to have you back on. Obviously, we barely got to kind of scratch the surface here, and as more products roll out, I'm sure there will be a lot more to discuss in that area as well. So thank you so much.
Well, Brandon, I appreciate it. I once I get new products, I'll make sure you get one. Don't worry about it.
Appreciate it. Shone, thank you so much for coming on. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on here, learning about Rippin Rowleys and all the amazing products that you have out, as well as those that are in the works. Head on over if you want to keep up with the Rippin Rowleys. I'll have the direct links down below for the main site as well as the socials, so you can check out the full lineup of amazing products, as well as those that are featured here on Hot or Not. We'll have direct links down below for those as well. Don't forget, new episodes drop every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. Thank you so much to everyone who has continued to share out the podcast with others. Continue to share that around. Help grow the overall podcast. And if you are on a site that allows for a review for the podcast, please, if you would, go ahead and leave me a review down below. That would help the overall growth of the podcast. If you want to become a Swear Citizen, that is in the website. If you scroll down, you too can join the Swear Nation. For those that own their own product line and would like to sponsor the podcast, we have a sponsorship program opened up for the podcast on a monthly or annual basis. Want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, podvision.io. If you're looking to grow your brand, start your brand, hit a bump in the road, you're trying to figure things out, highly recommend checking out podvision.io for all of those needs, as well as webdx.one. If you have an online site, maybe you had a guy, maybe you have lost contact with them, maybe you just haven't started and got a website put together for you and your business, highly recommend checking out webdx.one as they make it super easy and painless the whole process through. I'm Brandon Swear, and from everything from the world of hot, this has been The Swear Word.